Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's session. I am Roshan Jaswal, co founder of InsuredMine, a software platform with CRM, sales and marketing automation, designed and developed only for insurance industry. For those of you just joining us, welcome. A recorded session of this webinar will be available on InsuredMine website.
I have the privilege of introducing with me today is Jeff Luna, who is the Director of Operations from Tranzpay. And in next hour or so, we will be talking about the two organizations and what capabilities we bring to the independent insurance agency community and how now this independent organization doing all the good work is also collaborating to bring two very difficult piece of technology together for all of you. So thank you all for joining in. Why don't, Jeff, you give a bit more color to the introduction about you and what you guys are doing?
Absolutely. Thank you, Roshan. Humbled to be in the presence and on this webinar today. So so Tranzpay, we are at the core, we're a payment processing solution. We're a technology company that was designed around and for the insurance industry. We've been processing credit card and ACH payments for carriers, MGAs, and agencies for over a decade now. So, like I said, this has been built from the ground up in that mind. So having that in our background for the needs of the agency versus a typical company or merchant processor that processes for everything under the sun, t-shirts and shoes. They don't understand how insurance works and how it's a different animal completely. So we pride ourselves in having that industry knowledge. And we partnered up with InsuredMine, and I think together both of our technologies complement each other and provide a whole complete solution, soup to nuts, that's going to help agencies and MGAs really take it to that next level on automation and receivables to increase that cash flow, especially with what's going on right now.
Perfect. Thank you. Thanks, Jeff. Thanks for the quick introduction. And I'm sure there's much we have socialized and informed about what InsuredMine is, but let me give a quick 30-second overview of what InsuredMine does. It's an add-on to an agency management system. As Jeff was talking about, they are so focused and solely on insurance, so is InsuredMine. We are a sales CRM marketing automation product, but unlike Salesforce or HubSpot that is doing it for just anybody, we are very focused vertically on insurance. So we understand the terminology, the processes, the pain of what it takes to be successful in insurance and how it caters to the field and the design thinking in insurance. So that's what we are. We help agencies grow their business by conversion, by engagement, and by retention, and all the business flows put into practice through technology. To go a bit more deeper into the product, there is 4 core elements that we talk about, what is InsuredMine is all about, which is SEAM, SEAM, which is all about sales, engagement, analytics, and mobility. And sales is all about how we are building our pipelines, what automations we are adding in our pipeline that is helping us enhance the capability of the agency to not only capture the leads, but nurture that lead, bring it to the sales funnel, and then close the deal as quickly and as effectively as possible. So that is one of the core strengths that we have helped agencies gain 20 to 30% in their as a spike in their revenue and closing ratios based on everything that is prescribed in our newer sales automation. Second piece is about marketing automation, which is where now once you have captured or brought the details of the leads into the system, how are you nurturing that through drip campaigns, through email campaigns, through text messaging, or setting up some automations about birthdays or welcome campaigns, or just nurturing them over the period of time with some real good industry-specific information. How are we doing all that? Again, if you think it's a boatload of information that needs to be shared, and we do not have that kind of time or capacity as an agency to do. So we need to leverage a technology which is smart, which is effective, and focused on helping us achieve the goal that we want to for our agencies. And this is exactly what InsuredMine does. It helps you segment your clients, it helps you build those workflows around it, and then triggers that to show how effective each of those workflow has been. And so if something is working, double down on that. Something is not working, skip it. Think about what's next, because I bet you everything that you're thinking is going to work. You will learn through the data, through the analytics, that everything is not that effective. And so the data analytics is an equally important part for you to learn to do this post-mortem to understand what is working, what is not. So we pay a lot of attention to analytics. So before going deeper into the product, I want to quickly share a couple of the screens here to give you all a perspective of what it looks like. So this is what we call our dashboard on the analytics side. You all are able to see the screen, right?
Yep, we can see it. I can see it.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, perfect. Thank you. So this is where analytics is bringing the data at 10,000 feet overview, talking about your active accounts, your premiums, your policies and carriers, and then showing you how your policies in next 12 months will expire by what line of business. So there is a load of data that will help you understand your business, help you understand your performers, help you understand your clients in totality. And same thing from the pipeline manager, as we were talking about this, building that sales funnel and building multiple funnels at a time rather than just dealing with one funnel about, let's say, a commercial insurance or a personal insurance, and or building your service pipeline or renewals. What we're going to be talking today, and I'm going to hold on to that thrill for a moment, is on our payment processing with Jeff. But before we go that, I just wanted to give you guys a quick 30,000 feet overview of what InsuredMine is capable of from its analytics perspective, from its sales perspective, and automation on engagement or marketing perspective. Having said that, now I will switch this over to Jeff, and we will talk about some of the reasons why it is so important to have a payment processing built into a system like this, which is all focused and catered towards a client experience.
All right, that was amazing. I don't even have an agency, and I want to sign up.
Well, you will get one someday.
Someday, you know, when I'm not, because nobody's busy here, right? But
yep.
One day I want to be like you when I grow up. So let's see. So as he was saying, yeah, the importance, as you all know, as an agency owner, you know, cash is king. It's the lifeblood of your business. And when I say cash, it's just money, funds coming in those receivables. So, you know, small businesses accepting credit cards has been increasing year after year after year. And we've even found, whether it's the current, I don't want to say recession, but you know, what's going on right now, 2008, even in all those, credit cards don't really dip. They stay or they increase. So the ability to accept those credit cards, those electronic payments, whether it's credit cards or even ACH, e-check, is invaluable. So you need that as an agency to be able to do that. So we keep seeing those increases, not only in across the board of credit card usage, but for bill pay and for agencies, we're seeing the acceptance of those credit cards go up and up. I know there have been a lot of studies actually done on this and surveys, and they, as you can see here, you know, at least half are seeing an increase from 1,000 up to 10, 15, 20,000, or even more monthly, obviously, depending on the size of your agency. But there's a significant increase in those receivables with that ability to accept those payments. And not only for the ability to accept credit cards, because that's been around, 30, 40 years, if not longer. It's really that technology that's been combined into that credit card acceptance as of late, especially with what we've been building, what we put in with the InsuredMine platform. It is that digital one click, that one payment where you send out that invoice, you send out the requirement for that payment, and your insured, your clients can just, it has to be effortless for them. If they have to go into your retail shop, if you have one, if they have to swipe or do a chip, or if they have to jump through a bunch of hoops, they're not going to do it, or they're going to wait and wait. And then now the policy will lapse, and you know that game, you know how that plays. So the most important thing for us is to make sure that those policies don't lapse, that they're making their monthly payments or all their premium payments, whatever that case is, that you get those funds, you get that cash, and you can push those up to the carrier. So, as it says here, 33% of these payments are made with a credit card, whether it's a credit or a debit card, and you need to be able to provide that to your clients. With the cash flow on there, as I mentioned, with ACH or credit cards, you're not waiting. Even with the old traditional method of taking these credit card payments, if you're taking a payment over the phone, you're waiting 2, 3, sometimes 4 days before you see that money in your account. And you can't run a business that way. You need that, especially if you're running off of a agency sweep system where those funds are being taken out of your account at midnight. You need that in your account. So, we're able to deliver those funds daily, next day funding. So you have that and you're not negative in your accounting. And where this is really important is on the ACH. So if you're getting checks, as I'm sure you all will know, you're waiting on someone to mail you a check. That can take a few days to a week. Now you have to take those, you batch take those to your bank. There's another few days. So, it can take from a few days to over a week before you see that money. And now you can't bind the policy, and there's a lot of issues with that. So with this, again, this allows you to get those electronic payments into your account the next day. We fund those into you the next day for checks and the credit cards. Now on that next slide, if you go back there, so a couple of great options that we have here that we've developed here for the insurance industry. What you're most familiar with if you take credit card payments right now, or if you ever have in the past, is the traditional fee model. And that's where out of every transaction you run, you're being charged 2, 3, 4%. You're being charged a quarter transaction, monthly fees, regulatory fees, made up, I need a new Lamborghini fee, whatever all those are that are in there, you're paying all of those. And so we still have clients that decide to do that. We are a wholesale shop. We work directly with the bank. So we're able to get you direct costs that Visa MasterCard provides on that. So even if you decide to go traditional model, it's going to be cheaper than what you're paying with most resellers out there, which is what they are. Now, the convenience fee model is what we're proud of here. Most of our clients go across that. As agency owners, that depending, you write a policy, you're working on 10 to 15% commission, somewhere in that range. So if you're running a $100 transaction, $1,000 transaction, and you have to pay 3% of that, well, you're paying 3% of that 12. So you're losing a quarter to a third of your business right off the top. And I don't know about you, but I can't run a business that way, losing 30% off the top for my fees. So this allows that to pass on to the insured. They pay it as a simple utility for allowing Tranzpay as a convenience fee to process those on your behalf. And we've seen an increase, actually. We actually thought that when we first implemented this, that there might be a pushback, or, we wanted to see what would happen. Would sales drop? Would written policies drop? But it's actually, we've seen an increase, because using this, people are used to it. With all utilities, you pay for your tuition, electric bill, you pay for tickets. It's all in there. So, if they want their points, they want their airline miles, which I don't know what's going on with airline miles these days, but whatever their other points or cash back they're getting, they pay for it through there. So that's been a real help to agencies that we've seen. They've been able to increase their cash flow. They've increased their revenue because they're not paying out that 30% in fees now. that they paid in the past. And what do we, so, okay, on the portal access. So we've integrated, or InsuredMine has integrated our backend platform into their system, and we'll be going more into that and how that works, but it's a seamless integration, and you can request payments, run payments, and do everything within that platform, which is what makes it such a beautiful solution, that you don't have to go anywhere else or do anything. It's all there. Now, we also provide, as a backend, I guess you can call it a supplemental reporting, you do have access to the virtual terminal and the payment platform, that if you need to do a deeper dive into any specific analytics or reporting on transactions or access the customer vault, then that can be done through our specific platform. We are a level 1 PCI certified payment platform for credit cards and ACH. So any transactions that you're running through the InsuredMine platform or directly through us do not touch you. Everything stays on our server, on our vault, and you can save those payments for future use, whether it's recurring or just you have a client that comes in that you know that they're going to make a payment a couple times a year, and you can use the same payment information. So this portal, again, was designed, I know I keep saying it, but it was designed for agencies and MGAs to access the type of accounting reporting that they need in order to do what they need to do. And all these funds, if I didn't mention before, all the funds are deposited into the trust account. We set up a trust and operating account, and we don't commingle any of those funds. So everything gets into the trust account. So we are in compliance with the DOI, which we stay on top of all the new regulations that are coming out of there.
Awesome. So couple quick question I have, Jeff, and I just want to bring that up while you were speaking on this. So one is regarding, you said, and this was kind of a counterintuitive to me when you say that, you have actually seen that the transaction volume does not reduce even though we are passing on that 3% or whatever the transaction fee is to the client, because that's very counterintuitive to me that, even though they have to pay more, they are willing to pay it.
Exactly. No, that's a great point. And that's exactly what we thought was going to happen. We thought, okay, well, we implement this, and we hear it from agencies as well and from owners. They tell us, well, I can't, I'm already charging XYZ. I've got my broker fee. I've got this fee. I'm doing add-ons. I can't charge another fee on top of it. And we completely understand that. And that's why we have both models. You as the owner, your business, your customers, what's going to work for them. The one thing I usually try to tell anybody that I'm speaking with is, give it a shot. We can set you up. There's no cost to it, because I know, and I've been guilty of this myself, is we answer for them, and that's not always the correct assumption. It's always better to let them decide. And again, it's 2020 now. This was new, 10, 15 years ago, but the culture has changed, as does with everything, where people are used to it. People are used to paying a fee now. So it's not a shock, and you just have to tell them this is what it is. TransPay charges this fee, not ABC Insurance Company. It's like TransPay charges a fee. And the great news is, it is a percentage, but for those that don't want to pay it, I know we have a lot of commercial clients where these transactions are, $1,000, $10,000, $50,000 transactions where they don't want to pay that fee for the credit card. Okay, that's perfect, Mr. Customer. We can take your ACH account information, we'll process it the same way, and it costs a fraction. It costs $1 to run an ACH, whether it's $500 or $50,000. We process that, deposit in your account, and that's the only cost to it. So it's up to them how they want to do it. But again, to circle back to your initial question, yeah, we were shocked too. We thought there would be a larger dip that we would have to kind of fight against, but we found that if anything, it stayed the same, if not increased, with the technology either purely by Tranzpay or by technology partners such as yourself, being able to provide that ease of use to be able to get more payments out of them.
Yeah. And that reconfirms the fact that convenience is more important to clients and the agencies than a little bit of add-on cost, and which has improved again and again.
Exactly. People will pay for convenience every day.
Yeah, absolutely. And one more thing I would ask here, which you have mentioned earlier, was starting with the PCI compliance, but more towards the point that since the transaction is initiated and flowing through InsuredMine, which we will show in a bit, but the security is of paramount importance here, that nothing is being stored or saved on InsuredMine servers or database, rather than it is creating that tunnel through which it goes to your servers, and it is being in that state in that vault because that's what you have been certified for your PCI compliance.
Oh, I thought you were taking liability for all of this.
I wish, right?
Is that what you said, or was that the whiskey talking?
Well, I think probably it was a weekend whiskey. Yeah, right.
But no, absolutely. So as you guys will see once we go through that little demo here in a minute, everything is on our platform. So even though you're logged into the agency portal for InsuredMine, and that's where the request for the payment and the payment is being initiated, the actual input of the sensitive cardholder data, the card number, expiration date, and that information is done on our server, on our database. So everything is stored on us. Again, we're PCI secured, level 1, so nothing actually touches the InsuredMine platform as far as the sensitive data. Nothing touches even the agency system as that data. It's all on us. And then you just have the reporting that shows success, failure, and that it's been paid.
Absolutely. Perfect. Thank you, Jeff. Moving on to your next slide here.
So moving on here, I think I already kind of, on my long blathering, I kind of already went over some of this, but we do have on our dashboard, we have our reporting, and the customer vault. So these things are everything that you can access in addition to what's available within InsuredMine's platform. If you need something a little bit deeper, if there's any questions that you have about particular transactions on the specific accounting side, you can access those through the back-end Tranzpay portal.
Perfect.
And again, this touches on the customer vault, which is something we're working on, I know, with you guys. So again, touching on the customer vault, we found that this feature has been very well received with a lot of our clients. The customer vault, again, if you're not familiar with the customer vault, it's allowing for recurring credit card transactions or ACH transactions, whether it's a monthly breakdown of the premium or even without a recurring schedule. As I mentioned before, if you have a lot of clients that are recurring clients, but as you know, the premium may change every 6 months, the amount may change, you can store their credit card or their ACH information on our vault, which gets tokenized. So when you need to re-up a policy, InsuredMine will send us a secured token that you can still charge that credit card for what the new amount is for your client without having to get that credit card information again. Maybe they're on the road, they're out of town, they don't have it on them. Then you can just say, all right, we're going to charge your card 1, 2, 3, 4, and you'll see that in your bank tomorrow. So that vault is what allows that to happen, and allows those easy one-click payments. Because again, I like to circle this back to ease of use. And if they have to jump through hoops, they're less likely to make that timely payment. But if they can make a payment anywhere, anytime, by just 1 or 2 clicks without having to pull out their wallet or jump through those hoops, then they're more likely to do that. Your cash flow will increase, and you're not going to lose those policies.
Awesome. All right. Thank you. So now, if there are any specific questions, guys, feel free to put it into the Q&A. We will be more than happy to answer those. But let me take another quick few minutes and walk you through how the payment is being processed with the click. This is the easiest part of the whole presentation because this just tells you how easy it is to maintain and manage that. So let me move back to the portal. As I said, so this is the easy part of, so here is now another module that gets added to all of those guys using InsuredMine. I do see a few clients of ours are on the webinar. Darren, I see you. Derek, you are there as well. Ike, I see. Marlo is a potential client. He'll be joining us very shortly. And Rob, I see. So yeah, wonderful to see some of the very familiar names and faces. So clicking on the payment here. So this is a brand new screen, coming right out of the oven just a few days ago. What we are seeing here is a dashboard, which is telling us what has been my recent transactions. And it is also giving us a quick overview of how many I have requested, how many I have completed, how many are pending. So, and that's also in a visual way of what has been completed, what has been in the waiting list. So two things. One, in terms of clicking on the transaction history will give you the full list of who those transactions are. And the second is the request payment. So let's start with request payment. If I need to request a payment, let's do it for Roshan. Well, only if I can type my name. So if a client exists in the system, it will automatically pull that client. And then it will ask, currently we are only sending it through email, but it will also happen through text message. So it will go from your agency, whoever has logged in. So right now it's John Doe who has logged in. And then that's his email ID is demo1. And we will select, let's say, another policy here. And the amount is $1,200. It will pull that amount. And you can update this amount to whatever you want. Let's say we do $1,500 here. And then we send a request payment. Boom. It is as simple as that. You can send a request payment and it will send the link to the client immediately. What we're going to do here is I'll go to my email address and pull that list email that just came in and bring it right here. So this is the screen that will pop up. So this is what you would see. Roshan is the client, his email address, his policy number here, and the amount $1,500. You can change it again here at the pay. So this is now what your client will be seeing, a clean screen on a request of a payment coming from Acme agency, which is your agency, and what they are paying and how much. Simple, clean option, and they click on the payment button. Now here is the trick of what we have done. Now you can see again, it comes up with the Tranzpay. It's just a seamless, smooth transition happening. And I see that this screen may not be showing up. So new share. Thank you. Thanks for bringing that up. So 4747. All right. And we put in January, we put 21. We put 123. And this is business. InsuredMine. Push in all the information we can and click continue. Boom. Now here is the thing that Jeff was talking about.
Yes.
1,500 and yeah, go ahead, please.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So here's the disclosure. So just to touch on that fee, all of your clients, I mean, we recommend obviously letting them know there's going to be a fee, but it will be disclosed to them specifically and that the fee is a site charge by Tranzpay. So they know that it's $1,500 plus in this case, $5,247, and their account will actually be charged one fee. So they don't get charged twice. They get charged that $1,552 in one transaction. Then on the back end, before you receive it, in order to avoid the commingling with the DOI, we remove the $5,247, pay out the bank, and you get that $1,500 in your account the next day.
Perfect. Thanks for clarifying that, Jeff. All right. We click continue, and I have a beautiful signature that you guys get to see now. And so this is all the transaction detail that comes up with the address and everything. And then we click process. Boom.
And boom.
And so let me pull up the screen.
Boom, bada bing, bada boom.
Oh, surround sound.
Awesome. So this is what will show up. The payment has been successful. And now so that will take back to the screens here and go back to the payment dashboard. It will show that 1,500. So instead of showing that, let me show you actually on the webinar what is in this slide. What is happening is these are the 3 emails that went out. This was the first email, hey, new invoice from Acme Agency. So you will get that email when you're clicking on this pay now, that's when that payment option pops up. Second is when you have made that payment, it will show that payment that, okay, here's the receipt of that payment that you have made. And the third one is the email that goes to the agency saying, congratulations, you have just received a payment through TransPay, but through this particular client, Roshan Jaswal. So these are the 3 emails that helps you. 2 email goes to the client. One is the invoice. Second is the payment confirmation. And in your on the other side, you get. I maybe jump. So I have a quick question from Derek here, and he says I may be jumping ahead, but I have a couple of questions. Number one, which is when will that module be available? Second is ETA for text payment option. So the first module, first question, Derek, is when it will be available. The answer is today. And Aditya, confirm me if that is true, that this module they can turn on. And I just want to make sure, Aditya, you are able to speak, unmute you. Yeah. So yeah, you should be able to use that. And second one is text message probably in our next iteration that will go out, and we will have the date released pretty soon. We'll share that information direct with you shortly. Any other question now? We have seen or gone through the process of what does it look like. So how long does it take to get set up with TransPay? Good question. Jeff, you want to answer that?
Absolutely. So great question. And I guess this would piggyback off of even Derek's question here. So whether you're already with InsuredMine or you're going to be a new client to InsuredMine, setting up with TransPay would be a separate process. We have a simple online application that we send out to you. Once that's done, typically you're approved within 24 to 48 hours and another 24 hours to get your credentials live and inputted into the InsuredMine platform. So from the time that we get the application back from you, you're typically live within 3 days to be able to start taking those payments. And that's on the outside. Typically it is faster, but CYA.
Yep. No, perfect. No, thank you, Jeff. So actually there is 2 parts to that, right? So let's say somebody brand new who is not a customer of InsuredMine or TransPay has a demo of TransPay, and now they want to use both the system, TransPay as well as InsuredMine. So in that case, once they reach out to InsuredMine, it will barely take us a week to get them up and running. And parallelly, they will be able to start this process with Jeff and TransPay team to get them running. So at max, if we take the longest route between the 2, a week, when you will have both systems up and running. Whereas if you have one, TransPay and not InsuredMine, then it's a week. If you have InsuredMine and not TransPay, then it's 3 days.
Got it. Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. So if it's a brand new client, like you mentioned, to both of us, once the InsuredMine platform is live, they should be live with the payment at that time, because that'll happen typically a day or 2 quicker. But again, if they're already with InsuredMine, we get them up in 2 to 3 days. If they're with us already with TransPay and they're jumping on the InsuredMine platform, then whatever that process, a few days to a week to get them live. Looks like we got another question here. So again, from Derek, as far as the costs. So yes, we make money transactionally. So that percentage, that convenience fee that gets charged, we pay the bank and Visa, MasterCard, and we take our slice out of that. That's how we make the money. Typically, for this platform, we charge $10 a month, which is assessed from our bank as basically an account on file fee. So whether you're charging $100 a month through the platform or $1 million a month, that's all there is. Although if you charge $1 million a month, I'll waive that $10 fee for you. How's that sound? But that's it. There's no other, that fee allows us to cover the PCI, the regulatory. There's no other nickel and dime. There's no contract with us as well. So there's no, it's month to month. There's no contract, no setup, sign up, termination fee at all. We don't believe in doing any of that because we want to live on our merits every day on using the system. So that's the only charge. The ACH. So again, Marlo, so that answers on the cost to the agency. As far as ACH goes, it's $1. So even if you're running a large commercial transaction for $10,000, it'll be $10,001. So a lot of clients that don't want to pay, that their insureds don't want to pay on that fee for the credit card, they give the ACH information and they run it that way. But, we have, just a side note on that, I always like to share this one anecdote that we have one agency that has a commercial client on a $19,000 recurring monthly payment with their American Express, and they're paying the fee, which I think is about $800 a month on that because it's a business account and he gets his rewards and he doesn't care. So that goes back to that. They want those points, they want those rewards. And so we have people that are paying $20,000 credit card a month and paying that fee. But if they don't, hey, you'll take cash, you'll take that check all day as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks, Jeff. And so the whole intent of bringing this, as you understand, this is literally $10, or literally you can imagine this is no cost to you. It is, for us also, the reason for bringing this, we are not charging you anything for this as well. The reason for bringing this is obviously the convenience, and we are trying to pick all these little gold nuggets that is important for you all. We see it in the value chain, and we want to bring that convenience to your doorstep. And so now I'm sure, some of the clients we have had right now, they are running those transactions for 10,000 to hundreds and thousands. And now having it into this, now they don't have to step out of this system to figure out, okay, where am I running my transaction? Who is due to get that payment? You get those reports, you run those transactions right from here. So that makes it way more convenient.
Oh, absolutely. To piggyback off of that, as much as the agency owners or the CEOs love us and you guys for saving money, we found that our new BFFs, our best friends, every time we sign up somebody is the CFO or the accountant. The accounting team, this is a lifesaver for them because like you just mentioned, you're not dealing with multiple systems and reconciliation. Everything's in one system and makes it so much simpler that we found we're talking with the accounting team all the time.
Yep. So now let's add some more sweetener to this. And the sweetener is now the system is great that now you control when you need to push that payment to the client, but you also democratize this and empower your clients. What does that mean? It means now on the mobile app that they have or the client portal that they have, they will be able to go click on the payment option and it will show them the policies they have. And they can select the policy and click on payment, and it will take them through the same transaction screens that you saw. The only thing is, the difference is last what we showed you was we triggered with an invoice request. In this case, they are starting with themselves by making the payment trigger. And same thing with the mobile app, where they will be able to go to the mobile app and plug in the policy number and make a payment right from there, as smooth as that.
That is-
Derek, your questions, I don't see it yet, but can you see the screen here, or am I missing?
I think that's a little bit older.
Oh, is it? Okay, sorry about that. Okay.
You got too excited by your golden nuggets.
I know. This is all good stuff. Okay, awesome. Yeah, I see that you don't, you may not have that module, and I will have to look into that, and I'll get back to you on that. So this is another big piece is from the mobile app and the client portal, how this is all coming through. Any other question? I have a couple more things to add, but I will contain my excitement and take a couple questions. All right. If not, let me jump right in, which is, I think Skip, you also asked that question, can we do batch processing, or can we push out multiple clients? Yes, those are part of our next release. Here are the 3 core things that will be a part of our next release. I will add also the 4th one, which I'll talk about in a bit. So the first 3 is recurring payments. Yes, you can set up those recurring payments. Because we were just doing our first release, we wanted to make it light and quick, so it is out there for you. You start using it, you send us more feedback, and I'm sure there will be some frustration on something broken. So we want to learn from that, so we can improve and make it better. So recurring payment, number 1, obviously enhanced analytics and dashboards to give you a better perspective of what is working, what is not, which payments are getting to your bank sooner than later, where the receivables are getting stuck, and things like that. And the third one is the automation of trigger payments, which means we can do some batch processing or identify a trend or a trigger, and that will send a lot of those clients on those reminders on the invoices, and a drip campaign on when they're not paying, hey, go ahead and make those payments. 4th piece, as Derek, you brought up, was the texting. Yes, that is already in our list. Email is already set up. Next one is texting. So that is also going to come as soon as possible. So that's from the next release perspective. Any other question? All right. If not, feel free to send. Well, I see there's one coming through.
Coming in.
Yeah. All right. So, Rob, your question is, do we get an email when the payment is made? Yes, you get an email. So this is the email that you get. Congratulations. You just received the payment through Tranzpay. And this is the payment amount, and this is the customer detail. And you can view that back in your dashboard on InsuredMine. Yep. Thank you. Any other question? Oh, there you go. That was Rob. I didn't
that was
realize.
Rob with the bada bing, bada
boom. All right. Jeff, anything more do you want to add from a Tranzpay perspective to the clients?
That covers a lot of it. Again, I just want to reiterate the fact that, being able to do this on one transaction or one click, whether it's the mobile, which you brought up, which is great for their actual clients, or they're using the dashboard, just being able to send out that payment and know what's coming in and be able to save that transactional revenue on every single one of those, we've seen be a tremendous help. So as you mentioned, the goal that we're trying to do, and this is part of why I think, you can correct me if I'm wrong, why we mesh so well and why we partnered up together, is our outlook was very similar. We just want to, we're all businesses, so I'm not blowing sunshine, but we want the agencies to grow and get as big as they want to be successful. We're trying to push up InsuredMine and the agencies and MGAs, and just be able to bring a product and solutions that are going to help everybody out, whether it's the agency or even the insured. As people, I'm a customer. Everyone it has insurance, and if the solution and the experience between the customer, the insured, and the agency can be improved, then I think that's just going to be better for the entire industry as a whole. So I got a little hoo-ha there, but I think that's why we're trying to just bring a better solution and product to everybody.
Yep, awesome. Thank you, Jeff. And thank you, everyone, for your time, for your patience listening to this. And I am glad to see all this excitement coming up. And yeah, thank you, Rob, and thank you, everyone on the call. This will be released to the InsuredMine clients as soon as possible, but anyone else, if you are interested in the services, feel free to reach out to Jeff and I. If you have one or the other service, we will hook you up to the other side of the world and get this all connected so you all can take advantage of these two wonderful solutions coming together. With that, I will wrap up. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. And thank you for your time today.